Hey everyone, Shabby here and welcome back to another video showcasing a potential manager of Manchester United. Now this one is all about the Portuguese Leonardo Jardim. He is currently managing at Monaco. Well, he's not managing at Monaco. He was, of course, up until the beginning of this season when Henry took over. Stats-wise, again, looks pretty impressive. His coaching is not the best, but it's pretty good all round. But of course, he's got other coaches there anyway. Man management is 17, which is very important for Man United. Of course, a lot of big names and a few big egos. Motivating is not amazing. Adaptability and determination are pretty good. Tactical knowledge of 16 is very good. And judging players' ability is pretty good. But that potential of 15 is even better. I'm quietly confident about Jardim here in this opportunity. He's only 43-year-old, so he's a young, up-and-coming manager. And I feel like we could see something special. So we'll do the same as with the last episode. We'll go right to the end of his reign and see just how he did in his whole time here at Manchester United. Let's go. Well, isn't that a turn up for the books? 5 seasons in, Jardim has left the club and been replaced by Jose Mourinho. I mean, we just bludgeons for pain by the sounds of it. Why on earth would we bring that man back? I mean, yeah. Let's just say we're happy this is a game. He has joined up with Juventus. Now, is that his own choice? No, he was sacked as Manchester United manager in 2023, just after losing to Liverpool in the FA Cup. Okay. So let's see what he did in his time at Man United. He won the Premiership, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Community Shield, Carabao Cup, Premiership, FA Cup, and the Champions League. That's not bad. 2 Premierships in 5 years, 2 FA Cups in 5 years, 2 Carabao Cups in 5 years, and a Champions League. I'd be happy with that. I really would. But evidently, Woodward was not, which is a surprise to me. FA Cup and Champions League in the same season there as well. And that's surprising why he got sacked there, to be honest with you. So let's have a quick look and see how he did get on. So if we look at the Premiership first, you can see they won it in 2018-19 and 2021. Is that first season then they won it? Let's have a quick look. So stages. So yeah, they won it season number 1. Where Man City finished 4th that year. Wow, that was crazy. They won it by, what's that, 8 clear points? That's not bad. Or 7 clear points even. Yeah, 7 clear points. That's not bad at all. That's a pretty good run, actually. Then into season 2, they finished 2nd. 12 points behind Manchester City, but still a very good position to be in. Then 3rd season, they won it again by a clear 15 points. That was a great season, that was. Season 4, again, they finished 2nd, only by 3 points behind Liverpool. And season 5, again, 2nd, only 3 points behind Liverpool. So I feel like he's been, unfortunately, because he's never finished lower than 2nd, which is really, really good, to be honest. I mean, I'd accept finishing 2nd a few years and winning the league the others. That's exactly what you would do, isn't it, really? Let's have a look then and see how he did in regard to transfers. That's a big question. Right, season number 1 then they brought in Federico Barnagjesny. Yeah, that's exactly how you pronounce it. He's played 136 games for Man United, scoring 36 goals in the process. A really good deal, actually, by the looks of it. They paid 54 million for him. He's been there for 5 years and still worth 67 million, so was a very effective player who's given quite a lot to the club over the years. Next up then, Kieran Tierney, of course, the Scottish left-back from Celtic. Again, 133 appearances, 1 goal. He's worth 59 million. They paid 34, so again, another very, very good deal, to be honest. Next up, Mario Gaspar, a right-back. Lasted 3 seasons at the club, only played 32 games. Probably was just a backup then, to be honest with you, and now is at Valencia. And finally, Francis Coquelin. Wow. Okay. 4 seasons, 45 games, 2 goals. A decent French defensive midfielder as a backup. It's not bad at all, is it really? I mean, maybe not the first choice for many people, but it's a clever deal for 20 million. Also in that season, they let Ashley Young go out to Villarreal. That's probably why they brought in Gaspar. Pereira went to Wolves for 4.4 million. And Chris Smalling went to Chelsea for 11.5. You know what? That could be quite a realistic summer for us. Apart from maybe, I would like to see Herrera go out on loan. Fellaini, of course, is gone now. Rojo, I don't know if we got on loan. Dallo on loan. It's a weird one, isn't it? A few of those loans, but there we go. Right into season number 2 then, they brought in Lucas Hernandez, who again has been there for the 5 years. 80 games, 3 goals for him. Left back and centre back, of course. Paid 48 million for him. Next up, 27 million for Jorge Mir. He played 50 games across 2 and a bit seasons. It's not a bad signing, I suppose. They sold him on. Profit? No. They paid 27 for him, sold him on for 19.75, but they did get 3 and a bit seasons out of him. Eden Hazard. Now that was a great deal. 148 games, 50 goals. That was a really good run for him. And a great signing. Still worth 68 million. They paid 69 for him. Wow. Denis Suarez, of course, now at Arsenal. He came in for 2 seasons. Looked like, again, a backup player. I don't think he's the best player in the world. I think Arsenal did a little bit conned on how good he actually is, but only time will tell. And finally, Nelson Semedo, a player I'm a big fan of. 127 games, 3 goals in the 4 seasons he has been there. A really good player, still worth 50 million. And they paid 17 for him. So actually, really, really good deal, that one, for a right back. And obviously a long-term replacement. So players out, Antonio Valencia went, Fellaini went, Cameron Borthwick-Jackson went, Matic went, and Phil Jones went to Derby County. Wow, are you still there? No, you're at Leicester now. Okay, well, and you're wanted by, who wanted by now? By Newcastle. Well, eager to. I feel like Phil Jones would be a good signing for Newcastle, you know. I don't know why, I just feel like it would suit him. Right, into the next season then, they brought in Ben Gibson for 25.5 million from Burnley. The centre-back has played no games. He was there. Has he been there for a whole season? Yeah, he's been there a whole. Oh no, yeah. What? Is that? What? I'm confused. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, he's been there the whole time. He's just been out on loan. Okay. So they brought him in 2021. That really confused me there for a moment. He played 8 games. Didn't really do much. Then he went out on loan to Everton for a season, and then loaned to Stoke for a season. So pretty of a poor signing, to be honest. 25 million now worth. 24 million is on the transfer list. Next up, another player from Scotland in James Forrest. Played 4 games for Man United in 1 season. Again, I can only imagine he was a backup. They paid 16 million for him. Sold him the next summer for 7.75. It's disappointing. But the big one, wow. Wow, 144 million for Thomas Lemar. Still at the club now as well. 85 games, 26 goals. Still 27 years old. Obviously one of the top wingers in the world at this point in time. Still worth £75 million. Really good deal, that one. And finally, Santiago Caceres. Played 11 games across 4 seasons. That can't be right, surely. Again, he played 3 games, then they bunged him out on loan. Or he played 11 games across 2 seasons, then bunged him out on loan for 2 years. But he is worth a lot of money. So if they can sell him on, he's 26-year-old now. If they can sell him on, or whether he might actually be good enough to use now in the first team, that could be a massive profit for them, or a really good player to use now. Sales-wise, 36 million went out, so that's Luke Shaw, 27 million out to Napoli, Joel Pereira to Sporting, Sergio Romero to Leicester, and Marcus Rojo to Newcastle. So the big one there is Luke Shaw. Where's he now? Still at Napoli. Played 69 games, scored 6 goals at Napoli. Interesting deal. Next up then, we had an interesting season here by the looks of it. Mikkel Andersen, the Danish goalkeeper, must have been a backup because he didn't play a single game for Man United. Next up, Matthias Bouven, who is a regen player. Interesting, he's worth £52 million now, actually. Wow, 52 million. He's played 30 games, scored 7 goals across the 3 seasons he's been in. They paid 10 for him, and he's now worth, 52 million. Definitely a player for the future by the looks of it. Benjamin Pavard, good deal that one as well. 64 games, 1 goal across 2 and a bit seasons. Decent centre-back. Manuel Akanji, Swiss centre-back, played 11 goals across 3 seasons. Not the best deal in the world, I don't think. Matteo Politano, Not sure who that is, to be honest with you. He played 8 games and scored 2 goals across 1 season and sold on to Wolves. Not the best deal either. Mikael Brix, another Dane. Looks like a good player again. Another youth player who looks to be getting better and better. Played 32 games, 5 goals. Yeah, so it looks like he came into it the first year, got 12 games, 3 goals, 4 assists. In the second season, he got 20 games, so really got a lot more action. So I feel like this season they'll be getting it even more. And finally, Miguel Almiron from Paraguay. Again, 1 season, 1 game. But then again, they made a profit. They brought him for 6.6, sold him for 8.75, so you can't moan too much. £72 million went out. Forrest went out, of course. Gaspar went out. Coquelins, Suarez, and Ander Herrera to CSK Moscow. And his final season saw the transfer of Uar. A really good player, actually. A lot of clubs are after this guy at the moment. 25-year-old, worth 66 million, played 33 games, got 7 goals in his first season for the club. Kevin Umbabu, Swiss. Again, they really have gone all out for these Nordic players, haven't they? The Swiss is not Nordic, is it? It's nowhere near Nordic. 40 million quid he's worth now. Played 18 games, scored 1 goal. He's been out on loan at Porto. Dmitry Yesin from CSK Moscow. Again, another regened player. Looks like they're definitely working towards the future. Yeah, looks like a decent player. I think there's still more to come from this guy. He's only 19, but his stats are pretty good for a 19-year-old. Dima Kuznetsov, another Russian centre-back, again 20 years of age. And finally, Marcel Sabitzer, of course, the Austrian right midfielder. Not at the best of time. It does look to me like they are working again very much towards making the club much stronger for the future, which I think is a good way to go. Oh, I've just seen a terrible out. This is why he got sacked, I think. Right, anyway, out. Timofey Mensah went to Zenit St. Petersburg on a free transfer. Really not progressed as much as we hoped he would do, did he really? Eric Bailly went to Roma for 27 million. How did his career go? 111 games, 1 goal for Man United. That's not bad. Twanzebe went out on a free. Akanji went out on loan with no Mason Greenwood. How's he doing now? His stats are getting better. He's never played a game for Man United yet, though, in the league. Ben Gibson went out to Stoke on loan. Angel Gomez to Hull. How are you looking now? Oh, you're getting better and better as well. You're a free agent. You've been released. Oh, God. Angel Gomez released. Who's trying to sign him up? Newcastle and West Brom. Okay. Mikel Anderson and some of the players they brought in. They brought in Politano. Chong went out to Derby for 9.5 million as well. How are you looking now? Again, pretty decent stats. Played 5 games for Man United. But the big one is this one. Marcus Rashford to Spurs for 17.25 million. 131 games, 31 goals. Not realistic. Then this guy is absolutely banging in form at the moment. He looks like the entire world is his oyster, and I think he's just going to get better and better, so I don't think that's a very realistic deal either. But those transfers were pretty strong, if you ask me. How else did he go along in the competitions? We just dropped down to the bottom. So Champions League, they got knocked out first knockout stage by Bayern Munich in the first season. In the second season, they got knocked out in the semi-finals to Juventus. Third season, they got knocked out in the Champions League quarterfinals to Barcelona. Fourth season, knocked out in the... Oh, they won it, didn't they? They won it on penalties over Manchester City. That was a great game. They were 2-1 down away to Barcelona and then managed to come back and win it 3-1. A goal from Alexis Sanchez in the 100th minute. Sanchez, 146 games, 51 goals for Manchester United. Wow. And then, yeah, winning the Champions League final on penalties. Oh my God, look how many penalties it was as well. It was Ederson, the goalkeeper Ederson. Wow, why was he taking a penalty for? It was his penalty that eventually lost it, but look at those penalties, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 penalties scored in a row. 7 penalties scored in a row for each club. Pavard scored, then Ederson missed. That was incredible, that was. And then final season, he was knocked out. Well, he was sacked here by the looks. I'm going to guess he was sacked around about here. And they went on a massively good winning streak towards the end of the season, didn't they, really? But They've been knocked out of the Champions League in their first knockout stage by PSG as well. So it wasn't the best of times. I still am stunned that he got sacked, to be honest. I mean, with what he did, was pretty good. I mean, he never finished lower than second in the league in 5 seasons, which is very impressive. He won the Champions League once. He won the Premiership twice. He won the FA Cup twice. He won the Carabao Cup twice. I just can't fathom why he was sacked, to be honest. But there we go. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way this game crumbles. And I think alongside Simeone, we saw in the previous video as well, both of them deserved longer. But that's the way the game decided to do it. And, well, it's down to see what happens with the next one. So, of course, if you enjoyed this video, please do hit a like and, of course, subscribe if you want to see some more. Next up in this playlist next week, we'll be looking at a weird one. Don't get me wrong. We're coming to the last 2 now, and the next one is one that was rumoured at the time when I created this list, but I think it's been completely cold now. We're going to do it anyway, and that is Arsene Wenger. Wouldn't that be a complete rub in the wounds of Arsenal? But there we go. Anyway, I've been Chevy Gamer. Thank you much for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon for another video. Well, that was a terrible ending. I've been Chevy Gamer. We're going to try this again. I've been Chevy Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for our next video showcasing another potential manager of Manchester United. Bye.